Right, I have never done this before, so bear with me. But I'm going to go through a quick edit real quick on how I pretty much do um, my type of editing. This is straight out of the camera. I'm pretty sure this is, yep, straight out of camera. Okay. These are my presets here. I have a lot that I've kind of just tweaked and played around with. This is the one I use most right here. I do have quite a few other ones. Sorry, because of the recording, I think it's going slow. This is my black and white. I do tweak it a little bit with each image, but it's my base. So all of these are works pretty well. Just to show you a few of my presets. This is the one I'm probably going to edit and show with you. I start in Lightroom. I click my edit. This is what it takes it to, obviously, here. I do play around with this a little bit. In Lightroom, I look at the exposure. I don't want it too bright because then she starts getting washed out. I want it, honestly, pretty much how I had it. So I'm just going to go back. Okay. Contrast. This, obviously, you see main with contrast. I do like the contrast to make it a little bit darker. You can move it. If you guys want to record anything that's over here, you can. Whites, this is going to get rid of the white on pretty much all the whites, obviously. This tones your whites. This lessens and darkens the blacks, but honestly, I like everything where it's at. Clarity, I'm going to zoom in just so you see what this does. See how it's getting softer and softer? And then there's just too soft. Clarity, honestly, I prefer it on this side. Again, I'm going to edit back to where it was. I like to add clarity. Dehaze, I know that I told a lot of you that I haze or add haze. I only add a little bit here. It's mainly in my Photoshop that I do more, but this is where you can add haze. I'm very minimal here. And then vibrance, I don't really mess with those unless it needs to be edited. This is where you can change the, to me, this is this is very green, so I would probably want to take out some of my green. This is where you take out some stuff. If skin tones are too much, you play with your orange. See how it kind of toned her face down? You mess with orange for skin tone. And honestly, I think it's just fine the way that it is. So this is where you play with your colors. Here is, depending on your camera, obviously, and how when you bring it up close, it's pretty clear. If you are very grainy, I would not do any of the sharpening and I would up your luminance. But to me, this is where I set mine. I set mine around here, and I always have this a little more than the sharpening, my luminance. It's always just a little bit more. I don't really mess with anything else. I always make sure grain is all the way down. I don't want grain. And then this plays with my vignette. I don't like much of that, so I keep that pretty low. But honestly, this is all I do in Lightroom. I change my editing, my colors and my lighting in here. This is the coloring here. You can mess with this as well for the lighting and stuff, but this is it. I'm going to go ahead and export. I'm going to export it. It's 0779. After that's exported, we're going to go into Photoshop and I'll show you what I do there. Okay. Quit Lightroom. right. 0779. I'll show you. All right. This is where I do my main, I do a lot of the, oop, no, it's too bright. Okay, so let's say I like all my things on an even number, so let's do 20. I have a lot of actions. I will tell you right here, right now, I'm using a lot of actions from Summerana. It's $19 a month, and I have not regretted 1 month having it. Let me see. I add contrast. Oops. I invert this. So Command I invert it. So it took it back off, and I'm just going to paint it where I want it. And I only do subject. And then I lower this opacity to 30. Okay. I also, my brush on dark overcast, I play with. I pretty much darken everything except where I'm going to have light come in. This is obviously a quick edit. Don't mind the sloppiness. I'm also not going to fix her bra because that's just too much right now. I might up that just a hair. Okay. There's so many things they offer through Summerana. And right now I'm going to go to apply Sunflare. I'm going to resize and move Sunflare. And I'm going to probably put that about right there. I always drop it till around 30 opacity, so it's not too harsh. And then let's zoom in on her face. I'm going to dodge her eyes. The darker browns, I always like to lighten them just a little bit. I have it on 8% exposure. And it just lightens a little bit more here. I don't do the whites too much because I honestly don't think that looks great when it's too white. So I'm just going to lighten the eyes. I'm also, since I'm up close here, I'm going to do my sharpen tool. You never want to have too harsh of a sharpen though. So I'm going to sharpen, and I'm going to bring down the opacity to like 25 is my normal number that I do for that. I can do quick little erases of her, nope, not there. A little skin, just little minor touches. But she's pretty good here. All right. I feel like that's just a quick edit, obviously. That's what I normally do with all my edits. I just apply in Lightroom my preset, and I change a few of I tweak it a little bit to each image because obviously not all images are the exact same. But if you can see, it's pretty similar to all my other edits. I try to keep everything pretty close. I think that's all I can really do and offer. I'm trying to think of what else I can show you. Oh, I do add this a lot too, actually. I forgot. The soft warm wash, again, this is with Summerana. I put I put the whitewash pretty low, but this is my haze pretty much. This is what adds the haze. Let's say we do 15, and then I bring this down probably again to 15. It brings the warm touch to it, and then this brings my haze. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, soft warm haze or soft warm wash right here. There's also haze. I have an action for just haze, but I like to add the warm wash as well. So there it is.